homegrown girl playing Carole King right here. It is Brooke May, Fitch grad and now attending YSU for musical theater, Bachelor in Fine Arts, excuse me. Playing Carole King has got to be a pretty heady experience.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I grew up with Carole King. I mean, every baby boomer did.
Mm-hmm.
And how familiar were you with her music before you got this show?
I had heard some of her songs from Tapestry, but I didn't know how much she wrote and like how much she had affected music as we know it. So I went in and I saw the soundtrack and I was like, oh, I don't even need to learn anything. I know this one, I know this one, I know this one. I'm having the best time. My co-stars who play Jerry, Barry, and Cynthia are absolutely phenomenal actors and performers, and they're really, really great to play off of. Like, I don't need to act like I'm friends with them. Like, it's a very easy chemistry that just kind of flows.
Very natural?
It is.
Like your natural woman?
Yeah, it is. And it's very nice.
And do you find that later on you're getting a lot more animated with your character?
Yeah, it's a very different type of animated, mainly because when I'm in the younger stages of her life, she's very obviously young and moves in the way a lot of young people do who are trying to figure out who they are and get to where they want to be, very shy and timid and very tight. And then as she gets older, her shoulders relax and she's coming into herself, which is kind of my favorite part of the show, is that I get to be this real person and experience her journey into discovering who she really was and being comfortable and confident in who she was. And it's very nice.
Directing this show is John Holt, and you are an old pro with the Youngstown Playhouse.
I like the pro part.
But you're not old, you're a very experienced director with the Playhouse, and you and the musical director, Michael Moritz, have quite a history together.
We do. We've done a few things together. We did Jekyll and Hyde, Titanic, Sweeney Todd, Company, Secret Garden.
I mean, Brooke is amazing, and the whole cast, and they're so enthusiastic, and I think that's really important. Do you always do musical theater, or is that just what you prefer?
Pretty much that's it. And it kind of happened by accident. The number of directors that are willing or are able to handle bigger musicals are kind of going by the wayside. This one in particular is a unique challenge because it is not what I would call your standard musical. It is a show about a real person and her real music.
And she's alive.
Yeah, but more importantly, it shows a side to the audience and to those who love her music, a piece of her that they probably didn't know, and what she had to go through starting at a very young age to get to the point where she wrote Tapestry, because she had to live that life first, and she had to go through the struggles and the heartaches and some success and so on to reach that point to be able to write those songs.
What's the tagline? Why should we see Beautiful?
You're not going to see anything like it anywhere else. We are literally using a professional set. We just trucked it in a couple of days ago. They got it up on its legs today. I mean, it got me excited to walk in there and see this thing. Oh yeah. So I kind of decided at that point, well, I'm actually going to have to try with this. Huh?
I'm really going to have to deliver the goods.
Yeah, right?
How did Beautiful come to Youngstown? How did this begin?
For quite a while, I had told John Cox, and kind of in general, kind of an open invite to people back home, if I could help, let me know. And John Cox, the president of the board at the Playhouse, reached out and just kind of said, hey, would you like to do something for the 100th? I said, yeah, of course. What did you have in mind? I had no idea what he was thinking, and when he suggested it, I was thrilled. It's been a crazy amount of work. It's been a big undertaking, and I've called in every favor possible. But back home, so many different people kind of came together on this, from my past and from the Playhouse's past, and kind of like the Valley Arts community at large. Everyone kind of came together and really pitched in for the big lift. From my end, I came home for auditions, and I've been helping on my end with some of the family secrets from the Broadway show. I'm bringing home a lot of the programming and the tech and things like that. along with kind of getting them set up with a Broadway level set. The set is enormous. It came in on 2 semi trucks, and I cannot remember a time that I've seen a show in the Valley with this much set ever. Not a touring show, not a local show, nothing. I think it's going to be really special. Something worth mentioning, and we can talk about the show a bit, but like, this is an entire true story of Carole King and how she came to be. And what most of the people who've come to see this show all over the world say is, I had no idea she wrote all this other stuff. Like, everybody knows her for Tapestry and her songs. She wrote for the Drifters, for the Monkees, for the Shirelles. She worked in the Brill Building in New York, and it was just the hit factory. This show chronicles that entire journey in her life told through those songs. So, and there are many professional actors returning home. Josh Green, James Major Burns, Ariel Green, they all work professionally. They left the area, some pretty recently, some many years ago. They're all returning. Nikita Jones is an amazing local talent. We worked together on a professional production of A Night with Janis Joplin. That's another show I produced on Broadway.
That was one of your first shows in New York.
I can't believe that 10 years later, almost now, that it's still such a universal story, and so many people. We still continue to tour the States. We still continue to tour the UK. There's a movie in the works right now. Tom Hanks is attached as the director. It's a testament to Carole's life and the songs. It's amazing.
Well, the music. I mean, she is absolutely so talented, and she can sing, she can write, she can play.
She's also an amazing human, not for nothing. I think that counts too. The whole reason I'm doing this in general is because the Playhouse was such a big part of my life growing up. And like, no hyperbole, if I wouldn't have found the Youngstown Playhouse, I wouldn't have a career on Broadway. That's not an exaggeration. Number one, I hope people come to support the Youngstown Playhouse. And it's their 100th season. I mean, that is not nothing. And then the other half of it is, I always tell people, bring someone who's never gone to theater before, because this is such a good show for people who just maybe don't know what it is or think, musicals aren't for me. It's music everybody knows. It's amazing dancing. It's a relatable story. It's just like going to watch a movie. The amount of collaboration within the theater community on this one has been amazing. 42 Productions is doing all the audio and the rigging, and the manufacturer of the lighting consoles is donating the lighting consoles, and I'm bringing home tons of Broadway stuff. Megan Cleland, a fantastic choreographer who usually does Easy Street Productions, is coming over to do this. And also Maureen from Easy Street Productions, Maureen Collins, is in the show.
Plays the mother.
Yes, and John Cox is in the show. I also think it's a real testament to show people what happens when all the theaters kind of pool resources and collaborate, because that's, it really does take a village, especially with something this large.
You've already got the Tony, and you have gotten the Emmy.
Yep.
And you've been nominated for the Olivier Award, and then also for a Grammy. So I'm going to say you're an EGOT.
I'm a half EGOT. I guess I'm an ET. I'm an ET. It's only one weekend, so everyone
only got three performances.
That's it.
Friday night, Saturday night, and the Sunday matinee.
It's truly Broadway level theater in Youngstown. It's pretty cool.
And you've made so much of it happen, and I just can't thank you enough. On behalf of the Mahoning Valley, Michael, I would like to thank you for always thinking of us, because this is really going to be a special weekend. It really is.
Thank you.